R was what? The reoccurring affliction. What's affliction mean? And I'm not talking about, the prayers you heard years ago, God, I'm praying for the sick and afflicted. I never knew that meant afflicted. So affliction means pain caused by an oppressor, or to lower or deny, or also suffering. I love this. Please read this from Psalm 34:19. What does it say? Many are the afflictions of the righteous. The righteous, what does it say right here? So the righteous will have affliction. The righteous will have problems. The righteous will have challenges. Keep on going. But the Lord delivers them out of a few of them. Delivers out of some of them. Regardless of whatever affliction is in your life right now, God has made a promise that you're already delivered. Can somebody just give God a hand clap of praise for being delivered out of every affliction that goes on? So here's what happens. So we have afflictions. That's in the Old Testament Psalm. But look what Paul said over here in 2 Corinthians. Let's read this together. For our, what? Now you know when you're going through it doesn't feel like. Isn't that right? When you're going through it, doesn't feel like it's a light affliction. It doesn't feel like it's light suffering. Keep on going. Which is but for, how long? The trouble, the affliction came to pass. It didn't come to last. It came to pass. Keep going. Worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So this is from the NIV. Let's read this together. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs it. What does that mean right here? It means that here my troubles over here. But whatever troubles I'm going through, regardless of how difficult my afflictions and my trouble, the glory I'm about to receive, and the blessings I'm about to receive, and the breakthrough I'm about to receive will far outweigh whatever trouble goes on. Come on, somebody. It's about saying, I don't care what the problem looks like right now. On the other side of my problem, I'm going to come through better. I'm going to come through higher. I'm going to come through wiser than I've ever been before. It's going to far outweigh it. And when we are in trouble, all we see is the trouble. And not realize that God has already worked out for us a far more exceeding weight of glory. That when we come through the fire and not smell like smoke and talk about how all God is doing in our lives is making us some walking testimonies. You can look around this congregation right now. There's some walking testimonies in this house today. Everybody in here is a walking testimony because something happened where the devil tried to take you out, but God took you up, and you are nothing but a walking testimony, the light of mission. All the pain, the problems, the trouble, all temporary. So this point from Job 5:19, talk about that part there. Last week we talked about this, the overwhelming calamity. That was the O we had from last week. And calamity we talked about simply means this burden or load under which one is crushed. This is what it really feels. You ever felt like that? Like you felt like everything was on you? That at this point, you thought somebody was going to take this responsibility and you were responsible for it. And they said they were going to do this on your job, that you had to do the project. In your family, you had to do this. And everybody said they were going to do something. When they came down to work, everybody agreed to show up on Tuesday at 7:30 and start working, and nobody showed up but you. The idea of just feeling like they're overwhelmed. And that's what a calamity is. It's feeling like that if we're not careful, this load is going to crush us. This burden at this point is going to crush us. But what does the word say about the loads that we have? Read this with me, please. Psalm 55:22. Cast your burden, cast your load on the Lord, and what? He'll sustain you. And he will never suffer. He'll never allow the righteous to be moved. Now, so if we have this load, what's our responsibility with this load? It's not to carry it, it's to cast it. Come on now. We were not designed, we are not some mule. We're not going to be carrying this load. We were designed to cast that thing over to the Lord, and it says, when you cast it, I'm going to make sure you're not moved. When you cast it, I'm going to sustain you. When you cast it, I will make sure you make it through after all is well. The last week we talked about also uneasy or anxious. Then we get to our being out here today. Uneasy or anxious. We talk about now this idea. We will talk about this more, but some of this talks about anxiety and coping and what some of the triggers are for stress and negative thinking, and also conflict and financial concerns. Anybody else? This is what it's saying. That if you look at all this, one of the that anxiety comes in in one of several ways. Either by stress, and I love these shirts we have right now. You see people walking down now, I'm too blessed to be stressed. And they walk around all stressed. Come on. At this point, or something, some negative thinking. What's negative thinking? Negative thinking is thinking contrary to the word. That's all it is. The word says I'm victorious. I'm thinking I'm a victim. The word says I've overcome, and I'm thinking I'm not going to overcome. So negative thinking is thinking contrary to the word. The next one right here is conflict. Conflict is there, and also financial concerns. We'll talk about the other one too as well. So here's what happens right here. Psalm 46:10. He is our very present help in the time of trouble. So I want to talk now about this idea about the B and the L. B and the L here. So this first B I want to write down, and this is for our definition for trouble. So again, most of you all already have trouble written down. You add these two to the understanding. So if we are determined to be and live life trouble-free, we have to address this B right here, busyness. I will have to let you know, and my wife and I were talking about this as we were talking about the message. I don't know that I ever thought about busyness in the context of trouble. But it is it's defined by that in the Greek and the Hebrew, busyness. Now what does that mean? What are we talking about here? Look what happens here. The question is your business hurting God's plan for your life? In other words, everybody in here at certain points would have been busy. But some of the things we are doing to be busy are not God-directed and God-inspired or Spirit-led. Some of the things some of the things we're doing about being busy are more for our glory than His glory. Some of the things we're doing to be busy are things that would give us attention and not Him attention. Some of the things we're doing to be busy are necessary, but not right now. So the question really is it really hurting God's plan for our life? I love this slide here, right here. I'm talking about God's business, and not business. I don't know where that came from, business. It's God's business versus life's busyness. Now what are we saying here? It is possible to be busy doing the right things, but it's not, God has not released us to do them at that time. Or maybe it's not ours to do, it's to be done, but maybe it's not ours because that's not our lane. So what are we talking about here? So the question is, in the midst of all this business that we have going on, are we being busy to avoid something? Are we being busy to, what's the whole point of being busy? Because if we're not really clear about this, many times life's busyness will stop us from doing God's business. Just because we're working hard does not mean it's God-inspired. Just because we're doing a whole lot of stuff does not mean it. At some point, there has to come down to say, God, what is it you want me to do? As opposed to what I want to do. In fact, let's read this expression with me. Let's read this together. Busyness is not a reason for getting other things done. Not getting other things done. It is an excuse for not claiming your true priorities. Let's get this now. So busyness is a reason for not getting things done. And here's what happens. Some people know that there's something to be done. And they'll get so busy that they say, oh, I didn't do because I've just been too busy. Now, at this point, think about this now. How many, and husband, I'm trying to help y'all out. How many times have your wives said that the meal wasn't ready because they got busy? Now, does your stomach care they're busy? So it's not about not getting things done. It's saying at this point, and men too, I know y'all, we're just going to do the dishes. So the idea was, but what is it? It's an excuse for not claiming your heart. Let me just really make this legal. So I'll tell you, so when I was in grad school in Chapel Hill, I remember that I just didn't study the week like I should have during the course of the week. So I decided I was going to use Sunday morning to study. All right? Nobody had a gun to me. I'm going to use Sunday morning. So all of my friends were going to go to church. No, I'm going to stay in and study. Do you know that was the most painful, unproductive time I had that whole week? Because when I wanted to study, I couldn't retain it anyway. What I wanted to, I couldn't grasp it anyway. And I'm looking at the same page over and over again. And so then what happened? So the next time I was even busier. Went there to the house of the Lord, and when I got through, and the studying just flowed. The studying just flowed. What am I saying? I had to prioritize and say, God, I'm going to put you first. I know I got some other stuff going on in life, but I'm not going to let this other stuff crowd you out. I'm going to put you first, God, in every area of life. And too many times we let busyness crowd out family. And busyness crowd out our time with God. Come on, somebody. And our business crowd out everything else. So here's what happens. When we get our priorities, what does it say right here in Matthew 6:33? Read this, please. Instead, desire first and foremost God's kingdom and God's righteousness, and all these things will be given you as well. At some point, we cannot allow our busyness to stand in the way of what's most important. Think about it, and I had a conversation back during the break we had that with girls were over. And it's amazing that, that there are things going on with kids that sometimes we don't know. Mm-hmm. And when you think you know them, they smile, and you should know better when you ask a kid, how's everything going, they say, okay, you know you're lying. So at this point, but I just didn't probe more. And so they started telling me all this stuff that was happening to them when we were growing up in the church. I'm like, what? I praise God with the Lord. So they tell me all these other things because at that point when I recognized my priority at that point was more about trying to go out here and do church work than to go in and take care of the family, which is really the most important work. And too many times, if we're not careful, all that stuff out there will keep us busy, and we're not taking care of what goes on right up in here. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's about our relationship with the Lord and about our relationship with our family and our friends. When everything else is gone, that's what we still got. Those are the folks that's going to love you. Those are the folks that's going to be by your side. Those are the people that's going to care about it. And all these other folks, I was talking to some man on the job the other day. He said, I'm over here working. He obviously had not. We hadn't heard the message about what comes out your mouth. He said, I'm up here working hard as a dog. Now, my dogs don't work hard. They just chill all day long. When we left this morning, they were asleep. We could come back home. They were in working. So he said, I've been working hard as a dog. He said, but and here's what's sad. If I drop dead right now, they'll have somebody else to take my place tomorrow. I'm like, well, bro, first of all, you shouldn't be saying that, but I understand his point. So what's about the priorities? So at some point, for me, I had to go back and look at every board, every activity I was involved with, every fraternity meeting, every this, and all these meetings. At the end of the day, am I being about life's busyness or God's business? Because so many times, amen somebody, so many times God and his kingdom work are getting short and understood. We will give a job more time than we give Jesus. Come on. Come on, somebody. Flower. Amen. So down here, we'll go back. At some point, it's about saying that, now I am not questioning that we're all busy. The real question is, what does this business have to do with building the kingdom? What does this business have to do with helping somebody get set free? What does this business have to do with helping somebody say, what must I do to be saved? It's about saying I'm going to prioritize my life. It is not an excuse. Busyness is not a reason for not getting things done. It is an excuse for not claiming our priorities. And I'm telling you, until we make up our mind, I'm going to put God first. Trouble will come in and trouble us every time. But when I know that I trust God, and I know I believe God, and I know I rely on God, let trouble come, because I know right now that God has already given me victory over every trouble, and victory over every problem, and victory over every challenge, if I know I put him first. But here's the thing, if he is on the same level or lower than other things, trouble is going to always trouble us. I got to have my mindset. That's why we in church. That's why we come to Bible study. That's why we study the Word. To get our minds transformed, then we recognize we are revolutionary because we overcome all obstacles through Christ. All right. And again, for those of y'all who already have the slides, this is it right here. Here is the life for most folk, not just believers, everybody. Get busy. Then, all of a sudden, get behind, speed up. Then speed up. It's not done. Well, then get agitated because it's not done. Then get agitated because it's not done. Then work harder. Every word